Welcome to the High Beast. This is Hayes Arcade, your hardcore casual fan. I've been a wrestling fan for over now 25 years. I've seen it all, I've watched it all, I've heard it all. And there are some things I've noticed within the wrestling community that I feel needs to be said that isn't being said, that would be considered unpopular wrestling opinions, but it is what it is. So today, I'm going to give unpopular WWE/wrestling opinions. So let's go. Biker Taker is underrated. You know how many times I've heard, oh man, Biker Taker suck, Biker Taker suck, Biker Taker suck. Oh, I hated my Biker Taker. I wish Dead Man Taker would come back. First of all, the Undertaker character has always been one that evolved. Has always been one that's changed through the times. That man Undertaker would not have worked at the height of the Attitude Era. The only reason why you was able to keep it as long as you did because you had the brother storyline in 97, 98 with Kane, and you had the Ministry of Darkness heel turn in 99. But you needed to change his character. And at this particular point, if we're gonna be honest, if you take off the hair of Taker, change his bike to a beer, he's Stone Cold. Biker Taker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's the same motherfucker. It's the same person. Like, I don't understand why people say I don't like Biker and Austin are the same person. They literally are. There's some redneck Texans that don't take nothing from nobody. That's the core of their character. So how can you hate Taker, but you love Austin when they're the same goddamn character? The only thing I'm gonna give you is Austin was way better as a promo, than Taker, because Taker didn't know what the hell he was talking about most of the time. He's never been a dynamic promo. But outside of that, and I will also give you the first year and a half, his matches were less to be desired. They actually weren't good. Like outside of the Triple H match at WrestleMania 17, his matches sucked. But when he turned heel and he faced all the top faces, R.V.D., Rock, Austin, Triple H, Kurt, when he had to turn heel, his work got 10 times better. Ric Flair at WrestleMania 18, the Triple Threat match at Vengeance, Brock Lesnar in the fall of 2002, he got infinitely better as a worker because I think he worked the same style for so long, for 9 years, a decade, that he had to relearn how to work, right? So, but he still was saying we had great matches in 01 to 03. We're not going to do that and act like he wasn't good in the ring. Also, we're not going to act like his character wasn't authentic and true to himself. It's what we applaud every single character in the Attitude Era. From Rock, from Austin, from Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. Like, we applaud everybody for having an authentic character in the Attitude Era, but you want some guy to play a fake dead guy. Make it make sense. Biker Taker is underrated. Roman Reigns winning at WrestleMania 39 was the right call. Yeah, I have to admit, it still hurts me to watch the match. It's still difficult for me. I haven't watched the match since it happened, not once. I think that WrestleMania 40, Cody winning the title, it was a bigger deal because it was Avengers Endgame. Okay, you can say, well, isn't it not predictable that Cody was going to win at 40? Yes, but it's also predictable anytime you watch a superhero movie that a superhero is going to win in the end. It's all about how you tell the story. And the fact that if Cody wins at 39, we don't get the final boss. We don't get that. We don't get the final boss in 2024 this year. We don't get that. We don't get the combination of Rock, Cena, the Usos, all of them coming in. I don't think, well, maybe the Usos, but we don't get the end game on your left moment if Cody wins at 39. So even though I wanted Cody to win very bad at 39, I felt like it was the right time. The bigger moment, the greater moment, definitely was WrestleMania 40. It's WrestleMania 40. It's a benchmark of the event at WrestleMania. So As much as I still wish Cody won at 39, it definitely made Cody winning at 40 a way bigger moment and deal. So Roman winning at 39 was the right call. Big Show's ECW champion run was good. I said it. I always resented Big Show because he's a guy that beat RVD, who we all wanted to be champion. And it sucks that RVD got caught with weed, which now isn't even a major deal. Well, shouldn't have been a major deal back then, but for some reason was illegal. But that's besides the point. We resented. The reason why we resented Big Show, one, he was fat, he was fat. Past, I don't know, Big Show even have a prime for real? I was about to say past his prime. And he was the epitome of what was the exact opposite of what ECW was supposed to represent. It's supposed to be cutting edge, fresh, new, extreme, all these different things. It's like you put the belt on Big Show. It's like, of all the people you put it on Big Show, it's like, come on. And he just became another WWE guy. But when you actually watch Big Show's run, even with Paul Heyman, when you look at the matches he had with Sabu, with Ric Flair, Sandman, even Batista, I actually love what he did versus Batista, even in the hostile environment, because he played the heel role to perfection. He actually had a really good run. The problem really is not Big Show, but who eventually beat him for the title. Because, not to compare, but the reason why people think so fondly of Roman Reigns' reign is not only because of the story, but also because Cody was the one to beat him. Imagine if they did that whole Bloodline storyline and you had like Finn Balor beat him. Nothing wrong with Finn Balor. I love Finn Balor, but it's kind of like, right? So by having Bobby Lashley be the one to dethrone Big Show, it's kind of like whatever. Imagine if RVD or CM Punk, who people really wanted, imagine if CM Punk or RVD was the one to beat Big Show for the title. You would think more fondly of the title reign, even if you didn't really care for the run. But even with that being said, Big Show worked his ass off, even though he was fat as all hell, bloated and all that. When it came to put it on, he did everything in his power to have good matches. And I think we do not give the credit to Big Show the way we should. Even if we hate that he was the guy that was chosen to basically be the new face of ECW when it came back. It actually was a good run. Yeah. Christian losing the title after 5 days was the right call. Yes, in 2011, after Extreme Rules, when he beat Alberto Del Rio in a ladder match, which was supposed to be Edge, but Edge got hurt, had to retire because of his neck. Christian losing on that SmackDown in 5 days after just winning the title was the right call. And I'll tell you why. Christian, one, was never supposed to be in that position. Two, he was never a Vince guy. Like, Vince never cared for Christian. Somehow Vince really, like real life, really thought that it would have been better to put a blue dot over Christian's face because he was that ugly to look at. I'm like, really? In the era to where there were viscerals or gangrels, Christian's the person that you don't want to look at? Okay, whatever. But it's just like, Christian was never going to be treated as a proper world champion anyway. He just wasn't, because he wasn't a Vince guy. So he either would have been getting beat every week like a Rey Mysterio, or been treated like he would have been basically CM Punk in his run, to where Orton would have been the top star that was doing the main events and being in all the main stories. So really, if I have to pick my poison for real, I'd much rather have Christian in the main event every single pay-per-view on SmackDown, have a long feud with Randy Orton, and have great matches every pay-per-view. So at the end of the day, this was the best case scenario for real. It really was. The one more match the One More Match storyline really propelled Christian in terms of a character, in my opinion, because Christian has always been a better heel than a babyface, in my opinion. Just go watch him in TNA, the instant classic, Christian Cage, Captain Charisma. He's always been better as a heel, even in WWE back in like 04, 05. So it was the best case scenario. So I can't even be mad at it for real. I just wish he did get a proper title reign. He never did get. But it is what it is. The Rock beating Punk at Royal Rumble 2013 was the right call. Yep. I know if you watch my channel, I'm a super duper Rock fan. But here's the thing. You only have two options here. Either he loses at Royal Rumble to what many consider is one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time in The Rock at Royal Rumble in a very solid match, or he loses in the main event of WrestleMania to where he would have been overshadowed by The Rock and Cena anyway, and he's a champion. So pick your poison. And he would have dropped it to Cena anyway. So I much rather have The Rock be the person that ended the title reign than have Cena be the guy to do it, because Cena, almost every rising star that was on the cusp of becoming a main eventer, Cena halted their momentum almost every single time. I don't even have to go through the names. I just think of some of that. I'm like, man, why didn't that guy become a top star? Cena faced him. Now that's because of Vince, but still, it's like, no, I don't want to see Cena be the guy to beat Punk for the title. No, I must rather have it be Rock. Give us Attitude Era fans, nostalgia fans, a nice little moment, and then have him drop it to Cena. Like I don't like, and Cena and Punk and Taker had. I much rather be the guy that had the last great match in Taker's career at WrestleMania, the match of the night at WrestleMania, stole the show. I'd much rather be that guy than a main event, a match that you know is going to be overshadowed by the two bigger stars in Rock and Cena. I'd much rather do that. So, yeah, like The Rock beating Punk for the title was the right call. It's just that Punk should have been treated better during his title reign in general. Like, his title reign, he should have been treated better as the guy in that company during the 434 days. That's my humble opinion. But yeah, Rock winning the title, I didn't mind it. Of course I didn't. It's The Rock. Duh. Austin turning heel was the right call. Austin turning heel was the right call. Now, a lot of people say Austin turning heel almost ruined the business. It almost killed the company. And in some aspect, it was. Because of what they did when Austin turned heel. I don't have a problem with Austin turning heel. Here's the thing. I know I have a video on my channel called Austin is Overrated. I understand he's one of the biggest stars of all time. I don't even mind conceding that he is the biggest star of all time, even though I still think it's Hulk Hogan, as much as I don't want to say it. And I feel like Rock is overall a bigger star. But my problem is, like, Austin as a character, in my opinion, as a fan, was stale. He was the same character in 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. It was time for him to change it up and do something different. I wholeheartedly believe. And we talk about cinema and story. To think that Rock and Austin are the two biggest stars in the biggest period in the history of the company, and your biggest babyface in the history of your company, that's the Hulk Hogan, had to turn heel, or felt he had to turn heel because he didn't believe he could beat his biggest rival. That's a great story. They just flubbed up the follow-up. Rock and Austin should have been the rematch after WrestleMania 17 should have been the biggest thing possible. I don't even think they had another match one-on-one. I saw like Rebellion in a whatever match. They never had another one-on-one feud for real until WrestleMania 19. They should have followed up with that match and made that feud like a Punk Drew today or a Hangman Swerve today, to where it's this blood feud that is personal, right? You just didn't follow up with it. That's one. Two, how they did the heel turn wasn't executed properly, because it should have never been Vince to help Austin win the title. It should have been Heyman. I said this in my how Austin's heel turn could have worked. If it's Heyman, you make Austin anti-WWE because he was gone for a year and the WWE moved on without him. That's where his insecurity came from. That's the core of his insecurity, is that he saw the company that he helped make the biggest thing in the world move on without him, and at the top of everything, at the top of the mountain, was The Rock. That's where his angst come from. So it makes sense for him to turn heel. Just how they executed that was poor. But I still agree with the heel turn. And plus, we got a lot of great comedy and stuff we would have never got if he didn't turn heel, with Kurt Angle and the cowboy hats and even the what chant kind of counters a whole argument. But even the what was fun when it was still, when it was new. But yeah, Austin turning heel was the right call. Cena versus Orton is one of the most overrated feuds of all time. First of all, I lived it in real time. Outside of the start of it in 2007, from SummerSlam to No Mercy before Cena got injured, yeah, it was getting interesting. Cena's dad got kicked in the head and put in the head by Orton. Orton was finally starting to completely change his character. I think had Cena stayed healthy, that feud really could have been something. But the fact that Cena got injured, they ran it back at No Way Out 2008. They did a no DQ. They never had a one-on-one match again until like 2009. The whole SummerSlam match was stupid. The I Quit match was actually good. Then the Hell in a Cell was the Iron Man match was alright. They never had that dynamic of matches. The story was boring to me because you had Orton, who was boring as a character. You had Cena, who was boring as a character. So you have two boring people in a feud, over a title that both guys are just boring. It was just boring. Cena and Edge to me is a way better feud. Cena and Punk is a way better feud because of the dynamic of the two characters involved. Orton and Christian is a way better feud to me. I just don't understand why people have prime example. I want to say, what year was this? Yes, Royal Rumble 2011. If anybody remembers, Royal Rumble 2011. Cena and Orton had a stare down in the Rumble of 2011. They did the whole shot to where the WrestleMania sign was in the background, and the crowd went mute. Went mute because nobody cared, right? Even though these guys technically have not wrestled each other in technically like a year and a half, nobody cared. Meanwhile, go a decade earlier, Rumble 01, where you have Rock and Austin stare down, the crowd goes crazy. Well, the crowd didn't go crazy, but the crowd was wild. That's what I mean. That's the difference, because Cena and Orton they were just so boring. They were just boring together. They weren't exciting. But those are my unpopular wrestling opinions. Let me know your unpopular wrestling opinions or how you feel about mine. Like, comment, subscribe, share all the things. Welcome to the High Beach. There's Hayes Arcade, your hardcore casual fan. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
I'm the best. I'm the best in the world.